I was nervous about everything because I came into a film that had been filming for quite a little while, and I'd never done a movie except the one that, I just finished.
It's been called the teen comedy that made computer-generated women feel like magic. Weird Science didn't just entertain, it predicted digital creation and virtual reality decades before technology caught up, proving that teenage wish fulfillment could become prophetic social commentary. This tale of desperate nerds, perfect women, and transformative chaos combined Hughes's teen angst mastery with special effects that made the impossible feel real. Today, we're powering up that computer to uncover the secrets behind the film that dared to digitally create the perfect woman. John Hughes's digital fantasy. Teen angst meets technology. Weird Science originated from John Hughes's fascination with merging his signature teenage alienation themes with Frankenstein mythology and vintage EC Comics horror stories that treated science as wish fulfillment magic. Hughes understood that computers represented mysterious power to 1980s teenagers who didn't yet fully comprehend the technology transforming their world. The screenplay's genius lay in treating computer creation as modern equivalent of ancient alchemy or forbidden knowledge, allowing Hughes to explore teenage male insecurity through fantastical premise that felt both absurd and emotionally authentic to adolescent experience. Universal Studios granted Hughes unprecedented creative freedom, following the commercial and critical success of 16 Candles and The Breakfast Club. The cast has revealed that this autonomy allowed Hughes to pursue more overtly fantastic elements than his previous realistic teen dramas, creating hybrid genre that mixed comedy, fantasy, and coming-of-age drama. Hughes approached the film as exploration of how teenage boys confused fantasy with reality, understanding that adolescent male desire often focused on impossible ideals rather than genuine human connection. This psychological foundation gave the comedy deeper resonance than typical wish fulfillment premises. Anthony Michael Hall's Gary Wallace, the nerd gets the girl. Anthony Michael Hall's portrayal of Gary Wallace represented his evolution from supporting geek roles in 16 Candles and The Breakfast Club into leading man status, bringing natural comedic timing and genuine vulnerability to the desperate teenager willing to try anything for social acceptance. Hall understood that Gary's desperation came from authentic teenage pain, rather than simple horniness, playing scenes with underlying sadness about social exclusion that made his character's extreme solution feel psychologically understandable rather than merely ridiculous plot convenience. The actor's preparation involved channeling his own adolescent insecurities and social anxieties into Gary's frantic energy and overcompensating bravado. The cast has revealed that Hall's improvisational skills elevated many scenes beyond scripted dialogue, finding spontaneous moments that felt genuinely teenage rather than written by adults pretending to understand youth. Hall's physical comedy abilities allowed him to convey Gary's awkwardness through body language and movement vocabulary that suggested someone fundamentally uncomfortable in his own skin. This commitment to physical characterization made Gary's eventual transformation feel earned rather than simply granted through magical intervention. His chemistry with Mitchell Smith created believable friendship between social outcasts who enabled each other's worst impulses while genuinely caring about each other's well-being, establishing emotional foundation that made their fantastical adventure feel rooted in authentic teenage male bonding. Elon Mitchell Smith's Wyatt Donnelly, the rich kid nobody. Elon Mitchell Smith brought understated authenticity to Wyatt Donnelly, creating character whose wealth couldn't protect him from teenage social hierarchies that valued confidence over economics. Mitchell Smith understood that Wyatt represented more passive complement to Gary's aggressive desperation, making their dynamic feel balanced rather than competitive. The actor approached Wyatt as someone whose privilege created different but equally painful social isolation, playing scenes with quiet resignation that suggested years of accepting his outsider status without fighting to change it. This characterization made Wyatt's transformation more dramatic than Gary's, because he had further to travel emotionally. Mitchell Smith's challenge involved making Wyatt sympathetic, despite his family's obvious wealth and comfortable circumstances. The cast has revealed that he emphasized the character's loneliness and parental neglect, showing how material comfort couldn't substitute for genuine connection or self-confidence. His scenes with Bill Paxton established authentic sibling dynamic, where Wyatt's fear of his brother felt both comedically exaggerated and psychologically real. Mitchell Smith played these interactions with genuine terror that made Chet's bullying feel like legitimate threat, rather than harmless teasing. Kelly LeBrock's Lisa, the digital dream girl who became real. Kelly LeBrock's iconic portrayal of Lisa transformed what could have been simple male fantasy object into complex character with agency, wisdom, and genuine concern for her creator's emotional development. LeBrock understood that Lisa represented idealized maternal figure and romantic fantasy simultaneously, playing scenes with warmth that felt nurturing rather than purely sexual. The actress approached Lisa as supernatural being who understood human psychology better than actual humans, bringing calm authority to scenes where she manipulated situations to force Gary and Wyatt's growth. Her performance balanced otherworldly perfection with relatable humanity that made Lisa feel like real person rather than obvious special effect. LeBrock's challenge involved maintaining Lisa's appeal while subverting typical male fantasy tropes through the character's intelligence and independence. The cast has revealed that she insisted on playing Lisa with dignity and purpose beyond simply looking attractive, ensuring the character had psychological depth. Her scenes teaching the boys about genuine relationships demonstrated how Lisa functioned as wish fulfillment that evolved into life lesson, with LeBrock finding moments of genuine wisdom within comedy framework. This balance made Lisa memorable beyond her iconic visual presentation. What most viewers don't realize is that LeBrock's performance contained subtle critique of the boys' objectification, with Lisa consistently refusing to simply fulfill their fantasies without challenging them to become better versions of themselves worthy of real relationships. Creating Lisa. The special effects magic. The legendary creation sequence represented one of 1980 cinema's most memorable special effects achievements through its combination of practical lightning effects, optical photography, and innovative computer graphics that visualized digital life materializing from teenage imagination into physical reality. The effects team faced the challenge of making computer creation look both scientifically plausible and magically fantastical, settling on an approach that emphasized electrical energy and mysterious forces beyond rational explanation. What most fans don't realize is that many effects were achieved through practical means rather than early computer graphics. The cast has revealed that filming the creation sequence required precise timing and choreography, as Hall and Mitchell Smith reacted to effects that would be added during post-production. Their commitment to selling invisible phenomena made the final composite shots feel viscerally real despite obvious impossibility. The lightning and electrical effects used combination of Tesla coil footage, optical animation, and practical pyrotechnics that created visual spectacle matching the scene's emotional significance as transformative moment in the boys' lives. This technical achievement made Lisa's appearance feel earned through their effort. Bill Paxton's Chet, the bully brother from hell. Bill Paxton's breakthrough comedic performance as Chet Donnelly created one of cinema's most memorably obnoxious characters through committed physical comedy and improvisational genius that elevated every scene into showcase for creative cruelty and adolescent power dynamics. Paxton approached Chet as someone whose sadistic pleasure in tormenting his younger brother represented arrested development and insecurity disguised as dominance. His performance balanced genuine menace with absurd comedy that made Chet simultaneously threatening and ridiculous. The cast has revealed that many of Chet's most quotable lines emerged from Paxton's spontaneous improvisation, with the actor finding increasingly creative ways to belittle and intimidate Wyatt while maintaining comedic tone. His commitment to the character's awfulness made Chet's eventual transformation into pile of excrement feel like appropriate karmic justice. Paxton's physical comedy skills shone in scenes where Chet's swagger and aggressive masculinity became exaggerated parody of Reagan-era machismo. His movement vocabulary suggested someone performing masculinity rather than naturally embodying it, creating subtext about insecurity driving bullying behavior. Ira Newborn's synth-pop score, the sound of 1980s. Fantasy. Ira Newborn's electronic score for Weird Science captured the decade's synthesizer-driven sound, while creating musical atmosphere that made fantastical elements feel tonally appropriate within Hughes's realistic teenage universe. His compositions balanced pop accessibility with otherworldly textures that suggested Lisa's supernatural nature. The integration of Oingo Boingo's Weird Science theme song provided perfect encapsulation of the film's energy and attitude, with Danny Elfman's new wave stylings matching the story's blend of comedy, fantasy, and teenage wish fulfillment. The cast has revealed that this song became essential to understanding the film's tonal balance. Newborn's score emphasized synthesizers and electronic instruments that represented the computer technology central to the plot while creating soundscape that felt both contemporary and slightly futuristic. This musical approach supported the film's themes about technology enabling transformation and possibility. What most viewers don't realize is that the score's playful energy helped audiences accept increasingly absurd plot developments, with music signaling that fantastical events should be embraced rather than questioned. This sonic guidance made the film's tonal shifts feel smooth rather than jarring. Hidden themes, masculinity, confidence, and real connection. Weird Science embedded sophisticated commentary about teenage masculinity and objectification within its wish fulfillment premise, using Lisa's creation to explore how adolescent boys confused fantasy with reality while avoiding genuine emotional connection that required vulnerability and mutual respect. The cast has revealed that they understood their characters' journey as evolution from viewing women as objects designed to validate male ego toward recognizing that real relationships required seeing partners as complete human beings with their own needs and desires. Gary and Wyatt's transformation involved learning that confidence comes from self-acceptance rather than external validation, with Lisa's various challenges forcing them to confront fears and insecurities they'd previously avoided through fantasy and social withdrawal. The film's resolution, with the boys pursuing real girls rather than keeping their perfect creation, demonstrated how genuine growth required abandoning impossible ideals for authentic human connection with all its messy complexity and mutual vulnerability. Weird Science's legacy. Teen comedy meets digital prophecy. Weird Science's vision of computer-generated beings proved remarkably prescient about virtual reality, digital creation, and humanity's evolving relationship with technology that would define coming decades. The film accidentally predicted cultural conversations about AI companions and virtual relationships that seemed purely fantastical in 1985. The cast has revealed that they viewed the computer creation premise as pure fantasy rather than potential prophecy, never imagining that digital technology would eventually enable the kinds of virtual companions and artificial relationships the film depicted as impossible teenage wish fulfillment. What most fans don't realize is that the film's special effects innovations influenced music video aesthetics and commercial advertising throughout the late 1980s, with the creation sequence's visual style becoming ubiquitous in pop culture representations of technological transformation. The next time you watch Weird Science, notice how Hughes balances crude comedy with genuine insight about teenage male insecurity. Observe how Lisa subverts male fantasy while teaching important lessons about authentic connection and appreciate how the film's digital creation premise accidentally predicted our contemporary relationship with technology and virtual reality. Weird Science proved that sometimes the most ridiculous premises contain the most valuable lessons about growing up and becoming the person worthy of real love. Subscribe for more explorations of how teen comedies disguised wisdom as wish fulfillment. And remember, it's not about creating perfection, it's about becoming confident enough to handle reality.